Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen.
The people.
Groups, announcements for COD Champs.
Yes!
I'm excited.
I've been waiting for this day for so long.
I know a lot of people have. I've been having constant tweets of like, yo, when are the groups
When are the groups coming out? We had to wait on Activision to announce it, but now we know.
We're just touching on Group E. We'll just refresh your memory before that commercial break. Team Envious, Team Menace, UX Gaming, and Plantronics Mindfreak. Of course, we had a Maniac tell us that he thinks Plantronics Mindfreak are a top 8 team in the world, and they should be able to cruise through that. Now we're joined, though, by Merk from Team Envy. Merk, what are your initial thoughts on that group?
I don't know Team Menace or UX Gaming very well, but obviously Mindfreak, I mean, we lost to them last year in pools, and I know they didn't even have their best player. I forget his name.
Fida,
but
he's coming for you.
Yes, right, Fida. They're obviously the best team in Australia. They showed last year that they can compete. So, you know, I think it comes down to us two taking the top of the group. It should be an amazing game.
Yeah, so to give you a little background on Team Menace, formerly known as Team Finland, they are some players in Europe. Tommy was telling me he had known them forever. They had been playing SOCOM. They were normally known as just online players. I think they even played on PlayStation, got Xboxes. Then everyone said they were online warriors, but somehow Team Finland's come out to qualify. So I don't know if you would be scared of them, but definitely a team to look out for. But I think it definitely comes down to you guys and Mindfreak. I like you guys better than Mindfreak this year. It's about, I know, Joe, we were talking a little bit before. You guys always seem to struggle pre-champs and then always pull it together at the big event. Why do you guys do that to the fans, Joe?
You know, I don't know why, but you know, I'm happy that, you know, we did go 3-7 in the league before champs. Like, that sounds crappy. That's not good, but I'd rather, you know, a few plays here or there, and we could be like 7-3, 8-2. But I'd rather make the mistakes beforehand, learn from them, instead of kind of going into this event overconfident. Like, that's never a good thing. It sort of brings everyone down to earth. Like, I think I was talking to like a Nabel, and he's like, dude, if we win regionals, like, we're screwed for champs because Pat won't play.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where overconfidence can sort of be a killer, and you know, you sort of have to learn from losing. So, you know, last year with Ray, Study, and Ant, you know, we had probably no chance to win, but we pulled something out of our hat.
So, Merk, you have never finished outside of the top 3 at XP. You won that. You got 3rd place in Black Ops 2 back with Optic Gaming. Last year, we saw you get 2nd. How do you feel about this team confidence-wise compared to your previous teams at the past $1 million tournaments?
I mean, if you look at it on paper, I mean, obviously the talent is better than last year's talent. Like, you know, we were the team that got screwed in the end with team changes, roster moves. And then the year before that with Optic, like, we didn't practice very much at all, and we still got 3rd. And then XP, I mean, you couldn't really practice for that. But I think talent-wise, like, this is one of, like, the best ones, I think, sort of, you know, with the Black Ops 2 Optic Gaming squad. It's just, you know, we have to win Search and Destroy. Obviously, we've been struggling with that. And I think when you win Search and Destroy, you know, it builds momentum. Look at us last year. I mean, we struggled in domination the whole event, but we won blitzes, we won Search and Destroys, and we just kept winning and clutching up.
Yeah, it's one of the things I talk about for you guys going in this year. Last year, you guys were built kind of on the backbone of winning your S&Ds. This year, not as much in the S&D department. What have you guys done to kind of work on that in the last few days? I know in the league, you guys started out, I think it was like 0-7, and you guys couldn't. It just seemed like everything that was going wrong could have went wrong. What have you guys worked on?
Just sort of getting on the same page. I think Ant and I sort of have like that Rambo Ray style, like play, you know, old Search and Destroy. Like, that's just what we were built on. And then Nato and Tommy, you know, they put so much time into the game. They play so much Call of Duty, and they have a different way, what they think was right. And we sort of just began to combine the two. And it's starting to work out. I think a huge thing as well was, you know, we would go up and around like a 4v3. I think we lost like every time we got a first blood. Yeah, we hit a 4v3. We lost like 65% of those rounds, and that's just like, you can't do that. So I think we were playing way too selfish, like trying to make hero plays, and you know, I sort of had to dig that into their heads. Like, if you want to make a play, like, communicate with everyone and let's go.
I think the stat was if you guys got first blood 37% of the time, and even when you did get first blood, you guys only won 54% of the rounds.
Yeah, like that's terrible.
Yeah, and then I think even when you guys had bomb down, I think you guys, even when you planted the bomb, you guys had like a losing, like a on the bottom side of 50% win percentage with that. I think it definitely has some kind of. I mean, you can't really explain stats like that. I think sometimes it's just kind of some situational plays you're playing wrong. I think you guys will get it right for champs.
What's your strongest game mode right now? What are you most confident in?
Probably hardpoint uplink. I think our hardpoint is probably on level with, optic denial, phase. Like, we play extremely well on that. And then our uplink, anything that sort of requires a lot of killing, we're really good at. CTF, CTF and S&D, we sort of struggle with a bit, and that's just due to like certain situations. We don't really understand like where to go with the flag, what cuts to get, and obviously we're working on that, but yeah, definitely our hardpoint and uplink.
And who is the star player on the team today, knowing that we're just 4 days out from $1 million tournament?
It's got to be probably Renato. I mean, he's just sort of that firecracker, and he can go off. He's like that scump. He runs submachine gun the whole time. So, with the new sort of meta with like Tommy and Ant, they sort of share like that bow roll or even run two with one another, and they're sort of those guys that clear the way for myself and Renato just goes and kills everything.
All right, final question I have for you, Merk, is we're kind of all saying Envy's most likely to come out as the top spot in this one. Plantronics Mind Freak, the top team in Australia, arguably going to take that second spot, if not the top spot, if they're able to defeat you guys. But we know in the bracket we're going to take 16 teams from the original 32, and those will match up the winners of the pools going up against the losers or the second place teams from other pools. If you get the top spot, which teams would you like to face early, and which teams would you like to avoid right away? Do you want to go up against an early American squad like you did last year, or
no? I would love to have that envious Black Ops 2 bracket where I just go all the way to winners finals and I'll play Impact. That sounds great. But I mean, everyone wants an easy bracket at this event. I mean, the farther you go, the more money you make. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, if I have to play 5 straight European teams, that's amazing. It is what it is. But, obviously I want to avoid what happened last year. It was Optic, TK, SB, and us, and we were all 4 on one side, and someone had to get 13th through 16th. Like, I want to avoid that as much as possible.
That was an amazing run, though, last year. I was speaking to Ray about it at US Championship. He was like, I don't know. I remember the
magic.
It was Envy versus Strictly Business, S&D Warhawk.
They didn't have a kill for like 20 minutes.
Apathy in the final round got 2 kills. It was like 2-6, 0-6, 0-6, 0-6.
It's just sort of, and that's why Champs is always something special, is because, you sort of see a team that, is on the brink of something, and if they find it at Champs, like, anything can happen. Like, I look at a lot of the NA teams, and they're right there. Like, you look at Denial or a FaZe, even like a team like TR, like a team who wins a lot of search and destroys are probably going to go really far because, S&D's 2 game types. Like, if you can consistently win those game types, like, you're going to take an uplink, you're going to take a CTF. Like, those are sort of those 50-50 game types. Anything can sort of happen. A play can be made where, you can get 2 kills and just throw a ball and win. Like, it's just what it is. So, it can happen to anyone, and that's what's amazing about Champs.
All right, Merk, I wanted to get one more thing from you. Sorry, I have a whole lot of last questions for you. I was actually just looking through. UX is one of the mini teams that is going to have players competing at LAN for the second time ever outside of regionals, their first major world championship. You were kind of in this position once. What suggestions or advice would you give new players, new teams, the 18-year-olds breaking out on the scene for the first time with all of your experience?
Just get as comfortable as you can. Don't freak yourself out. I think that happened. I think that's what a huge thing last year. So many people sort of overlooked us, and we just played confident and played like we were at home. Like, that's one thing that, when you have like young players, they're either like so overconfident, sort of how study was, and that can help a lot because, all last year at Champs, he's like, I'm just going to snipe. Whoever wants to challenge me, I'm going to kill him. And like, that's great. like if it works and it worked out our way, but you know, but definitely stay confident, stay comfortable. Just try to find a, you know, like a good peaceful place when you're playing, because I think some people just freak out with all the lights and all the sort of like cameras walking around. But you know, you just can't think about it. You can't think about the $1 million. You just have to think about every game, every situation.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Merk, for joining us today. Wish you the best of luck in the Call of Duty World Championship, which is going to be next week.
Thank you.
This week, dude, it's Monday.
Well,
it's 4 days away, man.
Dude, that's crazy. That's ridiculous.
Number C.
4 days.
Shut up, Matt. Shut up. But yeah, Merk, best of luck to you and the boys at Team Envious. For now, a quick commercial break. When we return, take a look at Group F. Be right back.